Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today is my 1 week away election prediction. There will be one more of these on November 3rd. I will make one on November 3rd, but right now we are 1 week away from the election. And we all expected things to tighten up, but they really haven't. So you won't see too much of a change in my election prediction. There might actually be no change. I don't know yet. I didn't make this yet. But so basically, every state that I have already gone over, even if it is likely, that just means that I think that it will be safe for either candidate, but I think that it will be in a likely margin. Like, I'm going to classify New Hampshire as likely, even though I think Joe Biden will win it by around 8 percentage points, which is likely. But that's also likely in chances of I think he will win it. Same thing with what will be most likely Nevada and some other states. But anyway, let's get right down to business. So as I just said, I am going to be characterizing New Hampshire as likely, as I think Joe Biden has a possibility of carrying it by double digits, but I don't think it will be. I think that it will be somewhere between 7 and 9 percentage points of a victory for Joseph Biden. In Nevada, I am also putting as likely because right now, in the polls, Joe Biden has around a 6 or 7% lead, which obviously is not bad, but polls usually underestimate Democrats in Nevada specifically, not in the entire United States. But that is the reason why I am putting it as likely, as polls usually underestimate Democrats in Nevada. So that will be a likely state. And now we are going to go over to Michigan. Joe Biden has an 8% lead in Michigan. I think that it will be around 7%. It might be 6%, which is why I am actually going to characterize this as a lean. I just think in possibilities of Joe Biden winning it, it will be likely or safe. But for the purpose of things, I'm going to put it as likely. And same thing with Minnesota. Same exact reasoning. I mean, I usually keep these two states grouped together, you could say, because I think that they will roughly be the same exact margin in victories for Joseph Biden. They are just so similar right now in polling and last election. I mean, I'm pretty sure Hillary Clinton won Minnesota by under a percentage point, which means that these two were not very far off from each other in terms of who won. So I do think that they will be roughly around the same margin, except I do think Michigan will be maybe a tiny bit solider for Biden, as in if you follow the 538 snake chart, Michigan is actually more blue than Minnesota and Nevada. Alrighty, and now the next state. The next state I am going to be, every single one of these states is either going to be a lean or a tilt. So, just letting you know that. So, first of all, I am going to be categorizing Nebraska's 2nd district. Now, I think that this will be a lean district. For Joe Biden, he's leading by 7% in the polls. I think that it will be around 4 percentage points, as I am pretty sure in 2016 it was very close. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it did underestimate Hillary Clinton, which I find it significant when any of these states underestimate Hillary Clinton, as she had like a 70% chance of winning on election day, or well, 76, but yeah, she had a very high chance of winning on election day. But now we're seeing Joe Biden having, in some cases, 90% or over, which is obviously horrible news. And I'm pretty sure The Economist, Donald Trump's percentage of winning, which, keep in mind, this forecast also gave Donald Trump, I believe, a 36% chance of winning. That same exact forecast now gives Donald Trump a 4% chance of victory. I think that that is significant, and yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there, kind of. Alrighty, now we get into these other states. Just saying, the states Georgia and Iowa are going to be very tough for me to categorize. Just saying. So I might spend a little bit too much time on them. So if you want to skip to the end by the time that I do get to them, I am completely okay with that. Alrighty, now let's get into the other lean and tilt states. The first lean state I'm going to put is Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin will actually be more left-leaning than Pennsylvania, which you may find surprising just because Wisconsin is typically known as the most red state in the Rust Belt. But right now, the polls are looking much better for Joe Biden in Wisconsin than Pennsylvania. And yeah, I believe Joe Biden is up by over 7% in Wisconsin, and in Pennsylvania, I have not checked the polls yet today, but it's either high 5%, like 5.6, or it has just reached the 6% once again. And actually, what we are seeing is we saw a dip down for Joe Biden and a good spike for Donald Trump. Not like significant, but like maybe a 1 point down for Biden, 1 point up for Trump, which didn't change much. But now we're seeing those numbers go the opposite. Joe Biden is now gaining more and Donald Trump is losing less, which is very significant for me because usually when we get super close to the election, polls typically start to tighten, but we're actually not seeing that. We saw it tighten, and now we're seeing another loosen. Only 1 week away, may I remind you. Now for Donald Trump, I actually have 3 states that I will characterize as lean, and 2 states in a district, and one of those is Maine 2nd District. Maine 2nd District, Joe Biden is favored to win it right now. I do not think that will happen. In 538, it is like very close, within 3% or 0.3 percentage points. I almost said 3. But yeah, I do think Maine 2nd District will go for Trump. It usually underestimates Republicans. But yeah, I do think that it will go for Donald Trump. And another main reason why I think that it will go for Donald Trump is because in 2016 was actually the first year that Maine actually split its votes. Like they've almost always had split electoral votes, not always, but for a while now. But that was the first time that one of the districts actually broke away and didn't vote as the other 2. Spoiler, most of those years were Democrat, except for like Ronald Reagan and all that. Alrighty, next states. So there's 2 more lean. There is 2 more lean for Donald Trump, and there is 2 more lean for Biden. And then the other 5 are all tilts. So just to warn you, you may have a good idea of what those states are. I don't know if you do, but you probably do. Alrighty, so I'm going to start off with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the one lead state, or one of the 2 lean states that I think he will carry is Texas. We did see Texas narrow up significantly. Biden actually led by 0.1 percentage points, but since that has happened, more and more polls have been coming out of Texas just, because of that, and Donald Trump has come back to a 1% lead. And I do think that he will win it by 1 or 2 percentage points. I do not think that this will be a 2016 that underestimates Democrats. I think that it will underestimate Republicans, but that is just my opinion. If Texas does go for Biden, though, that would obviously be very significant. I mean, look, that almost gets him to 300 without me characterizing any of these other 6 states. So I do think Texas will be for Trump, and I think it will be by a lean margin. And the other state for Joe Biden, I will characterize that as Arizona. Arizona. He is leading by, I believe, around 3 percentage points right now in the polls. And the snake chart indicates that he will win it by around 2 percentage points. They do think that it will underestimate Donald Trump, but in 2016 and in the midterms, they both underestimated Democrats. So I do think Joe Biden will win that, and that puts him at exactly 270. And for Donald Trump, the other lean state I have for him is Ohio. Ohio did actually tighten up. Joe Biden was actually expected to win Ohio, but it has since gone in Donald Trump's column, and Iowa is actually closer than Ohio, which, if I had to guess, it would either be because of the low population swing, farming, and how Donald Trump has hurt farming. Not too significantly, but some farmers are getting hit hard. Either that or the low population just makes it swing quite a bit. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for that. So yeah, I do think that Ohio will be more right-leaning than Iowa. Decently surprising because I don't know. It just seems like Ohio would be closer, but I do think Iowa will be closer. And now the other lean state for Joe Biden that I have is Pennsylvania. He is leading by around 6 percentage points, as I mentioned earlier. And that lead does not seem to be dropping. He was at 7% at one point, but it has been a couple months since that dip down. Like, that dip down has been working for about a month. So we would need like another month. And we only have a week to see that dip down. And I do not know many pollsters, like for state polling at least, that have that significant of margin of errors. So I do think Pennsylvania will be a win for Biden. I think no more than 5%, maybe 6%, but I don't think anything less than 2%, which would be the tilt margin. Alrighty, now the rest of these states are all tilts. So, and spoiler alert, I believe, obviously in my head I have, it's just spiraling, but I think it's going to be a 2-to-2 ratio as I go through this. I don't know though. Okay. Anyway, yeah, just saying Georgia and Iowa will be the closest states to call for me. Alrighty, but let's get into it. Florida is the one state that I think that will, or one of the two states at least that I think will be tilt for Biden. I do believe Joe Biden will win it. Obviously, anything could happen. It's Florida, and it usually does underestimate Republicans. But Joe Biden has a pretty strong lead. I would say for, if this were like election day, him having, I think it was 2.3, 2.8% lead. I think that is a good lead to hold in a significant swing state like Florida. That is a state that Trump must win, or else he will practically lose. Practically, not certainly. But yeah, that is a state that Donald Trump needs. And right now, seeing that he will most likely not win it, he has a 1 in 3 chance of winning it, which is obviously not bad by any means. I'm saying anything can happen in Florida, but I do give it slightly to Biden. Alrighty. Now, the next state that I will characterize will be North Carolina. I'm still thinking about these two states. But North Carolina, yes, I do think Joe Biden will win it by a mere 1, maybe 2 percentage points. I think it might be a little bit higher than 1, like 1.2, 1.3. I do not think either North Carolina or Florida will be under a percentage point, but anything can happen in these two states. North Carolina has not gone blue since the 2008 blue wave, and Florida has just been a mess, and it has been going with the victor. It has been with the victor since, I'm pretty sure, Bill Clinton's first term. Actually, probably Ronald Reagan's first term, now that I think about it, because Ronald Reagan would have won it. I don't know if Bill Clinton won it, so if it's not Bill Clinton, then it would have been starting at 2000. But, yeah, Florida has been going with the victor for many years. I do think Joe Biden will be the victor, so I am going to put Florida in his column. Alrighty, now these last two states. I hate characterizing these. They are two of the closest actual states. They are the two closest actual states. Iowa could be not close. It could underestimate Donald Trump by like 9 percentage points again. But I don't think that will happen because polls have gotten a lot more accurate. And Georgia is actually favored to go to Biden now. So these two are very hard to categorize. You know what? I'm going to make a new name, or a new thing. Alright, these two states I'm characterizing as anything could happen 50-50. Yeah, I'm characterizing these two states as anything could happen. I'm a 50-50 on them. But, so yeah, those two states I think are going to be some of the closest, especially as it stands right now. Who knows a week from today? But, as of right now, I do think that those will be the two closest states. And obviously, I will be making another one of these on Election Day, so stay tuned for that. I will probably still be online learning, so we are expected to go back next week. I don't think that will happen next week, obviously the week of the election. But I don't think that will happen. But if we do end up going back to in-person school, this will most likely be out by 4:35ish, maybe. But if not, it will be out at around the same time. But yeah, I would like to thank you guys for watching. Again, I will be doing these a week from now. I might post one video in between that will be a prediction based off of polling data. But I will see you guys in a week.